Just that some people are using images or sprites that have a backdrop in them or some sort of area that's not transparent. So in this example here you would see this white area in the actual game, whereas you probably want rid of that white area instead. So what I'll do is I'm going to go over to Photopea, which I've loaded up already. I'm going to make a new project. I'm going to make it nice and big, so I'll make it 1000 by 1000. So it should obviously be a lot bigger than the original picture. And in here, background, you can pick white, black, transparent. But I'm going to go for custom. In this case, I've selected a red. And hit OK and then create. And that creates a background here for me. I want to load that offending picture in, so File, Open in Place, lets you place it somewhere in the location. So I'll select it from there. There's the image there, and that's where I want to place it, so I'm quite happy with it is. And I'll use this hand tool here to get rid of the selection there. You can zoom in as well, and there's also this move option as well, so you can move around your canvas. So I'm going to zoom in and move over to my canvas here using a little hand tool, just so I can see it enough. That's maybe a little bit too much. So I'm using the zoom tool there, which is Control plus and Control minus. I'm going to have to try and get rid of this white area, but to do that, make sure you're still selected on your character, and you have to convert it into a different type of layer. Down here it says raster mask, and it says add reveal all. Just hit that button. Right, ignore what that means, just hit that button. At that point there, I want to use the magic wand tool, which is in this list here. So there's the magic wand tool, and I click on the outside of it, and it highlights areas that it will get rid of. Not the inside, it's always the outside. And as you can see, it's not interfering too much with what we've got. So I'll just hit cut to get rid of that. There's also more things in there. So what I do is I'll do zoom in again, maybe use a little hand tool to move around. There you go. And I can see there's an area in there I can maybe deal with, and I could use a magic wand tool there. I'm going to click there. It's telling me it's going to take that piece out. So again, I can cut that. I'll just press the delete key. That's a quick way of cutting things. And I'm going to cut that bit in there too. Just get rid of that as well. Now don't worry about the outside edges not being perfect, it doesn't matter too much. What you need to worry about is the bit that might be messy looking. So up here at the top, this looks a little bit messy. I'm going to get rid of these areas here. So again, I'm going to zoom in again, but again I'm using the move tool so I can move around my area. And I want to basically get close enough to that to make it worthwhile seeing. As you get too close, you can see the pixels. Right, and as you can zoom away, you don't. It's up to you if you want to see the pixels or not. They don't bother me too much. To get rid of certain pieces, there's a eraser tool. One says erase background, but you want to do a eraser tool. And then you'll get a size. There's a size there. It's quite small, but it'll work. So just click once or twice. And little bits and pieces are supposed to erase, but I'm not doing it for some reason. I'll need to figure out why. I'll try again. And if that doesn't work, I'll try something else. That didn't work. I'll try something else. Inside here, let me see. Magic wand. Nope, not one there. Inside here there is a Polygon lasso, which I kind of like, and that basically lets you create a little invisible dotted line. And these are the bits that I'm going to say I want to get rid of. So I'm just getting rid of these bits here, all the way up to there. Click, click, clickety click, and you get near the end, double click, and that selects it all. Then again, you can just hit the cut key or delete and get rid of that bit as well. Again, I'm using the move tool. And in the move tool, I'll zoom out a bit more and look around the picture. And in the picture itself, I see there's this bit here. I think it was part of some sort of cape that went all the way down there. But I don't really care too much about this cape or bag or whatever it is. So I'm going to get rid of some of it anyway. I think I'll get rid of most of it. Again, I'll use that nice little tool we've seen, which was the Polygon Lasso tool. And again, you can zoom in more if you want to. So I'll zoom in a little bit. And I'll use the move tool so I get my perfect positioning. And then just start selecting areas I want rid of. Now it'll do as close as you can. It isn't going to be perfect, but you don't need it to be perfect. And then double click there and then hit the key to delete it. And again, I'm going to zoom out again. Oops, zoom out is minus. There you go. And it's looking quite healthy looking. The bottom of the feet there don't look great, to be honest. So what I'll do is I want to zoom in there to get rid of some of the extra grey stuff there. So I'll zoom in using my move tool as well. Get to a certain position so I can see enough of it. And again, I'll use this nice little Polygon Lasso tool. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect, because when you zoom out it looks a lot better. So I'm basically clicking a lot, clickety click to where I think the points of this lasso tool should be, and then up to as far as you want, and don't forget to complete it, and I'll do it about there, and then press that delete key, and that sort of cleans that about as well. Again, I'll use the hand tool to move about, and you can see the foot looks a lot better now. The only thing I'm left with, as far as I can tell, is something to do with her neck, which is a little bit weird. I noticed the image itself, for some reason, seems to have a sort of weird patch on her neck. It's probably related to this white thing here. So you might want to keep it and pretend it's some sort of scarf, or not. I think I'll just keep it to save myself a little bit of time. So I've got that far, which isn't too bad. Next thing I have to do is I have to get rid of this background. Right, so go to the background there, and there's a little bin there to delete it. And when you delete it, you'll find you now have a transparent image as a backdrop. The only issue I have now is it's a gigantic image, and this is only bit I actually want. So what I can do with this is I can look for the crop tool. The crop tool's over here. There's lots of different little tools here. I tried the crop tool earlier and it worked quite well. Just try to figure out what it's not doing. Right, we'll try and crop it now. Crop tool, where you went to? Since they want to crop that instead, let's zoom in and see what that is. Use a little hand tool to move about. That's been weird now for some reason. I wonder what bit I should delete. I wonder if I delete that, is that a mistake? I don't know. Delete that, mistake. No, it's been a bit weird now. I thought I had that all sorted out, how to figure out how to use this software apparently, but I guess not perfect yet, so I've still got the little tool to move them about. I've got to want the selector, which I've got working. I don't really want that selection there, but I don't know why it's not going away. It seems to stay there, annoying me. What I'll do then is I'll save this first and load it back in, because I can't figure out this little bit. So what I'll do is I'll export this as a PNG. Obviously she's in there with this gigantic area. Well, this is what I want to do, fix this area, but I can't figure out how to do it straight away. So I'll save it just now. I'll give it a name, and I'll call this character 1 or char 1. Save that. There you go. So it's here, but obviously it's a gigantic bit of transparency there. What I want to do now is I'm going to just close this one off, pretend it wasn't there, and then open it again with my updated version, which was called char 1. It must be my downloads folder, it looks like. Yeah, it's put it in there. And this time I'll attempt to use the cropping tool, which is here. It looks like it's working now. And all you do is you take the edges, right, and just don't get rid of the character. Right, so I've got that much, and I'm going to use the hand tool there and zoom in a little bit, of course, just to see it. And then go back to the crop tool again. Oops, that's there. And as you can see, it's went back to default. I was going to crop it, but I'll crop it first then. Crop it first, and then I'll zoom in. So do it there. There's an option here to say yes, so hit yeah, that crops it. So I can zoom in now. There's still a lot of white space round about her, or blank space. So I'll make sure she's moved right in the corner. Don't lose any part of the image, but make sure she's right in the corner. And then try crop again. And just get it right on there, on the edge of this sort of hand. And right on there at the edge of the feet at the bottom. So you're using up all the space that you can. There you go. And then hit the little tick button again. And now you see she's cropped properly. I'm going to go up here again and do File Export As, PNG. And I'm just going to replace the original one I had, so the extra space is gone now. And again it opens up, so now we can actually see it's working properly. So it took a bit of working out there, but this is how you actually go ahead and try and get rid of some of that blank space. I'll do another example in a few minutes in a different video.